Hello, I've had a nice little short holiday in a place called Tewkesbury, which is in the southwest of England, and it's an old market town. I think market towns date back to the Middle Ages, so about the 5th to late 15th century, so we're talking quite a lot of history here, and you could definitely see this throughout the town. A market town, by the way, is a bit different from just a village or a city because it's sort of like being granted permission to host a regular market. And such towns can often have like a market square, like a place where the market would be in the middle of a load of shops and buildings, like a big open place to host the market. Anyway, we weren't going for a market or anything like that. I don't even know if one is still hosted there. It might be. We didn't stop there long enough to see it. We were just going because it was somewhere we'd never been to before, and we thought, let's go and check it out. Let's see what it's like. It did have a Wetherspoons pub there that was also a hotel, which you'll probably know that we're quite fond of stopping at. It's just convenient and reasonably priced, although I have noticed prices are going up quite a bit lately. It used to be, originally when Wetherspoons started doing this, I think you could get like a hotel room for maybe something like £50 a night. Anyway, we noticed that this pub was situated sort of like in the middle of the town and also close to a river. And unfortunately, I can't remember which river it was because there's two sort of like major rivers there. One is the River Severn and one is the River Avon. And they both meet. They both merge together in Tewkesbury, or if you want a fancy name for it, you'd say this was like the confluence of both of these rivers. Anyway, the pub that we stayed at was called the Royal Hop Pole, and it's an amazingly old pub in a very good way, I think. So it's got some history in that it was mentioned in the Pickwick Papers, written by Charles Dickens. And when you go inside, it's quite an unusual pub, just because it seems to just go on forever. You just keep walking and walking and walking to get all the way to the far back of it, and then that leads out onto I suppose a beer garden. And then at the bottom of the beer garden, there's the river. And again, I'm not sure which river I was looking at. I can imagine it's a really nice pub to stay in on a nice summer's day. The weather was good when we were there, but we weren't really there for drinking. We were there for more like exploring the town. But I can imagine getting quite comfortable there. There was lots of nice outdoor seating available, and on a nice summer's day, just sitting outside, enjoying the weather, one or two drinks, I think that would be quite fun indeed. But back inside the pub, right at the front of the pub, as you walk in on the right hand side, there's this room which is just so old. You can see all the structural beams made of wood and all the ceiling, and it's certainly got a lot of character. And I really like buildings like that are just a bit all over the place, a bit. I don't know, like almost like fantasy-like. It looks like something that you'd see in a film, like a bit Harry Potter-esque. I'm not saying it was magical or anything like that, but I don't know. It's got that sort of like old charm. So yeah, I was quite happy that we'd chosen this place, and we had something to eat there, and then went for a walk along the river, which was actually the River Avon. I have just looked it up. And as we were walking along this river, you could see like all these different boats, and it went down to like an old mill. I don't know what they used to do there, grind flour or something like that, perhaps. It seems to have been turned into like apartments now. But there was like a dam for the water and some gardens nearby. And it was just a really pleasant place to go for a walk. Lots of English countryside everywhere, big open fields, lots of green, blue skies, not much cloud, some water, just really, really nice sort of traditional atmosphere. And as we explored the town a bit more, we ended up going into the abbey that was there. which is sort of like a kind of church, I suppose. And out of all of us, I think my wife was the most interested. Wanted to go into this place the most. I mean, I've been in such places before. My parents, no doubt, have as well. But I think I don't know if my wife has. So she seemed very keen on seeing this. I mean, she's not religious. I mean, none of us are particularly religious, to be perfectly honest. But I suppose for her, it was sort of similar to the way that people coming to Japan might go to visit a shrine or a temple, and perhaps not necessarily be interested in Buddhism or Shintoism, but more interested in the building itself, I suppose. And yes, it was a really nice building, as they often are. Huge, tall, ridiculously tall ceilings. Very ornate, lots of sort of like sculpted stonework and, like tiled floors and lots of mosaics, and I guess exactly what you'd sort of expect from inside. It's a very, very impressive building, very fancy. And there was some sort of organ music playing as we were going in, which added to the atmosphere. And after that, we walked around the town a bit more, and some of the buildings there are really impressive. I think if you want to see, like the impressive buildings there, you have to look up, because they're very tall. And if you're just walking around, just looking at sort of like eye level, you probably miss out on them. But if you look up, that's where they become really interesting, because all of the bottoms of these buildings, most of them, have sort of like modern frontage. But when you look up, you can see all the original, like, what would it be? Like a mixture of like wooden beams and some like plaster type stuff. If you're familiar with like those buildings that have like white painted walls, but then you can see all this like black painted wood, like crisscross type structure coming through. It's all that kind of style. Really old, and some of the buildings are like jutting out, like hanging out over the top of the pavement as you walk under them, and just loads of character in these buildings. So it's a nice little town to walk around, with some nice walks around it, I should imagine. We only stayed there for one night, so we didn't really have time to explore the area. But it's probably worth going back at some point and having another look around there. On the second day, we actually travelled to the Cotswolds, and I think that was my wife's first time there. And in case you don't know, the Cotswolds, it's a very, very popular tourist place in England, up there with, the Lake District and London, I suppose. I would say it's like one of the top 3, maybe, like tourist-type places in England. And it's, again, you've just got like loads of small towns, but really different in style. They're all like, most of the buildings there are just like stone built out of this sort of yellowish, I don't know, is it sandstone or something like that? But I don't know, it's just like, it's difficult to explain the atmosphere that this place has. It's sort of like calm. Okay, when there's not lots of tourists there, it's sort of like very calm and old and warm and, I don't know, homey, I suppose, kind of feeling to it, I think I'd say. Like it feels traditional and cozy, I suppose I would say. But yeah, that's a really nice place to visit. It's not a place as such, as there's many places, many towns you can visit, and we did go to a few. But yeah, just really nice to walk around the old towns. We went into like a tea shop, and we had tea and scones with the jam and strawberry jam and clotted cream, and I guess that's sort of like a touristy thing to do, but English people do that as well. I wouldn't say I eat jam and scones a lot. Apart from, when I go to like these kind of areas, then I often will. It's like an occasional treat sort of thing. Maybe some people do eat them every day, but that's certainly not me. I would say I eat them. I don't know if I'd be surprised if it's even once a year. It really just depends where I am. But yeah, they're very, very nice indeed. And it was a nice little tea room that we went to, and it had a nice little outdoor area with outdoor tables and chairs, and it looked very quaint, very traditional. And yeah, I'd say it was a really nice sort of like last stop of the day before heading back home. And we all enjoyed both places that we visited. So yeah, a good short holiday that was. Okay, I think that's it for this episode, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon. Bye-bye.